All right, everybody. So I told you it was fast. It's already got wheels on it and everything. The the prints that I promised are on my Patreon. They're gonna be on there. I'm about to upload them. I got them in two. There's two prints in HD for this. One for the plate and one for the frame. Now, if you can't do it yourself, just take the prints to your local welder. They'll build it for you. I don't know what it'll cost, a couple $100. You're gonna have to buy the wheels. I got them from Harbor Freight. They were only like $16, and they're big. I didn't realize they were too big, so I should have measured the wheels. I was gonna, cause I wanted straight ones, but they didn't have any with the same tires. So I figured, well, I could tack them straight if I wanted to, but I probably won't. I may make a widener plate for this. So if you do this and you use my prints, think about your wheels. They don't need to be that big. That's like a 8-inch wheel, pneumatic. That's what I wanted. But they touch in the middle here. See, I didn't think about that. It's got me one other time too. So, but that's just because I didn't check. I didn't think about it. I could have made this just a smidgen wider, and I'm talking a few inches. Or you can just get the smaller wheels, and it's no problem. It'd be perfect. So it's my mistake. I got the too big of wheels. But I'm going to make them work because that's what I want. So I'm going to just make a plate that bolts on, and I'll widen them a little bit or something. I can do a lot of stuff to make that work. But I should have done, well, it wouldn't have mattered. I was going to put a straight axle on it, but I realized, man, that's a lot of work, and I could just buy a damn wheel already ready to bolt on. So I just went ahead and took those back and did this. If you build one of these also, okay, one thing I need to make clear is I'm not saying you should go buy the 3-horse diesel and hook it up to this. I'm only doing this to show you that you can do it too. If it was me, and if I were you, okay, if you didn't care about the ECM BS, and all you cared about was I needed a generator and I needed a motor, okay, what I would do if I were you is I would get the 10-horse diesel and hook it up to that, because that is actually about a 3,400 watt generator on the label is what it says. But they claim a 5-horse, so that's what you're going to get with a 5-horse before your frequency drifts too much or your voltage droops. Even if you can maintain your frequency, your voltage will start to droop if you start pulling too many amps. So you'll have to watch that, but that should probably, because it's on the label. It says it's like 14 point something amps at 240, which is a lot more than 2900. So if you do the math, I put a label picture on Patreon too. It's already up, so you can check that out. You want to print this out, so I did that as a demonstration for you. Let me get the light on. You want to write down, for me, this is what I do, and I'm an OEM manufacturer, okay? I used to build stuff there, and I'll get into that in a second, but so what we do usually, if we're making a custom piece of equipment, you want to print out everything that you put on it. So like I printed that out because that's what I put on. The diesel doesn't have very much paperwork with it. This is pretty thick. This is 44 pages of troubleshooting and all sorts of stuff with this thing, man. And I didn't even think to look in this for the neutral. It's probably in here. It's probably already in there. But and they probably tell you where it's at. So you want to do that. You want to put how you wired it. Even if you got to draw your own diagram, draw your own diagram. Draw how it's wired. Everything. Put it on that paper. Or blank paper. It doesn't matter. Staple it together. Put everything, because you're building it. If you're building this now's the time to do it, not a year from now. You do it now because it's fresh. Go ahead and get your diagrams on there, and then fold that in half. Put it in the gallon Ziploc bag, and if you're going to enclose this like I am, I'm going to have it. It's going to be enclosed. Okay, I'm going to throw it in there in a Ziploc bag, and that's it. I'm gonna probably tape it to the wall, stick it to the wall, something, hook it to the wall, put a hook in there, hook it, hang it up. That's what a lot of manufacturers will do. Is they'll stick the paperwork inside the machine. So if you have to service it, it's the first thing you see when you open the panel is, oh, there's the fucking book for it right here. They put it inside for you. So that's what I would do, put it inside. So, because you never know if you're a man, woman, I don't care, whoever builds it. You can be a damn Martian, I don't care, you build it too. But it may not be you, the builder, that has to service this later. So think about that. If it's your kids, your grandkids, your niece, nephew, wife, husband, it doesn't matter. Whoever it is that's going to deal with this needs to have this fully filled out, okay? You need to fill it out. That's how OEM manufacturers do it. That's how you need to do it. So let me show you the bottom, because I couldn't I wanted to show y'all some more, but I decided to put them, I'm going to keep those as Patreon stuff because a lot of my tricks and stuff that I've learned over the years, I had to work for, man. I cut my fingers, I'm lucky to have the fingers I have. I have all of them, but I'm lucky that I do because I came close a few times. I came close to getting gutted once. I've had my eyeballs drilled out 3 or 4 times at the eye doctor, and if you're a welder, you've had it done too, probably. It's crazy how much pain I had to go through to get this good. And you know what? Those are tapped, by the way. Those are all tapped in the plate. I like to do that, and I wouldn't recommend doing this right away, but the way I tap stuff, I put it in the drill. I use a damn drill, a hand drill, and I tap it. I tap straight through all that with a hand drill. Now, it took me a couple years to get good enough to where I could do it without breaking bits, and you got to set the torque on your drill, so you don't break a small bit. You can get if it's a real small, like say 832, I used to use a 4 to 6 on my hand drill. Because that slip will prevent it from breaking sometimes. Sometimes it still break if you shear it or you crack it. But these, I just basically had full bore. I has one switch off from locked, and I just hammered it, and it went all the way through, all the way out. But you have to hold it straight. If you're not basically perfectly straight on your drill, it ain't going to work. You're going to break the bit, and it's going to be a nightmare because then you're going to have to break it out. And there's ways to get taps out too. There's tricks. You can freeze them out. You can take some, I ain't going to get into all that right now, but yeah, you can freeze them, break them out. But yeah, I like the double nut stuff. Those are for the motor and the generator. I haven't test fit them yet. I know they fit because I measured them like 6 times. I say that, I better go check. I'm probably going to, the next video, you'll see this. I'll probably go out right now and put it on. Yeah, and I released my name on the prints. You probably just seen it just now. So just so you know, that's who I am. There's a reason I waited. I'm not going to tell you the reason, but there's a reason I waited to do that. So, anywho, yeah, that's all that is, man. And the prints are already there for you. I got the prints. I got HD pictures of it, and you're going to have them. So, now if you don't know how to read the drawing, like I said, you need to consult a welder, or I'm going to teach a blueprint reading and writing class. It's probably going to be $500-600, but it's going to be a month, a 4-week class. And I used to teach it in 3. So 4 weeks will be even better because then I can teach you a lot of stuff. I can teach you fabrication tricks, how to read, write blueprints, what weld symbols mean, what are the AWS, ASME, Section 9, all that shit means, all your codes, and other codes because there's a lot of rules actually to welding when you're doing it professionally and you're doing it like serious stuff like pressure vessels, steam lines, all kinds of stuff like that, where people can get killed. You better be good because you don't get a second chance. If one of your things fails and you're working for a company, you ain't working for them no more. And especially if it hurts somebody, there's a lot of stuff to that. Like you can still be got with gross negligence. So if you're like a mad welder, maybe his boss pissed him off, and he's gonna fuck you, boss. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ruin your shit. Yeah, that's gross negligence, and they're gonna get your ass for that. And they can do the same thing on a job if you intentionally mess up a job. Anyway, I'm getting off. I love to teach welding. I did it for so long, but I got out for a reason, but not any bad reason. It was a good reason, a great reason. So I could do this. But yeah, I'm not teaching any live welding itself. I did do that. I taught TIG. That's why my name's Heliarch. It's Heliarch, by the way, not Haliarch or whatever y'all want to say it. It's the old school name for TIG welding. And it's always stuck. I've loved the name, so I just stuck with it. But yeah, I taught TIG. That's what I mostly did. And I also, for 6 years, I built pressure vessels, heat exchangers, thermal oxidizers, emissions control equipment. There's not a refinery in this planet that doesn't have some of my parts in it. And I'm serious. I have parts everywhere, all over the world that my hands have built that are in refineries in operation right now. All kinds. Pilot lights, 2,000 BTU pilot lights that can withstand 350 mile an hour hurricane force winds with rain. We also had pilots that could light underwater. If you want to look that up, it's called the AG2, John Zink AG2 in action. YouTube it, and you'll see it. Lights underwater. It's a gas supplied, but that's actually difficult to pull off because you have to be able to light underwater and deal with pressure swings, because water doesn't have any pressure swings. When you're in a burner in a furnace in a refinery, there's pressure swings, and it's hot. It's hot in the room that it's operating in already. It's 2,000 degrees, and then you have a pressure swing, increase in pressure, sudden increase or sudden decrease. The pilot has to be able to stabilize and stay stable. So that's actually, there were some very clever engineers I worked with, and I got to build a lot of their prototype pilots and stuff. Fucking amazing shit. You're talking pneumatic pilots that look like a telescoping antenna that'll shoot into a burner, light it, and shoot back out. With some of the most advanced sensor systems in the world on them. You're talking some of these sensors were hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece. Tektronix, the company I used to work for owned them, which they're actually a little bit of a defense contractor because Tektronix, pretty sure they sell sensors to the government, like for heat and stuff like that for the jets. Or either that or I know they used to because I talked to some of them. And they, because like F-22 is going to have several high-dollar sensors in that engine to tell, it needs to know what's going on. So then the company I used to work for, John Zink, they made everything. They were the gorilla. They were the 800-pound gorilla in the heat exchange and refinery business. They had 80% of the entire world's market, and is owned by Koch Industries. You probably heard of them, some of you. But great to work for. I mean, they don't. Maybe they don't care about the environment as much, but they were great to work for. They paid me good. I made a lot of money with them. I make good money now. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I don't even care if y'all... I mean, a little help's nice for money, but I make plenty of money. I don't need your money. I got plenty of money. And that's what probably some of these YouTubers, like Drake and the numbnuts up in Canada, and it's not Joel either. I'm not talking about Joel. The numbnuts in Canada. I want to challenge you, because you've been showing people how to make basically nothing. Your entertainment channel is all you are. But you also like to flex your intelligence. You like to flex what you know. Well, now I'm flexing. And this is your worst nightmare, because I made this whole thing before breakfast. And that ain't no shit. I drew it too. And I did another job before that. Before this job. You want to know how long it took me to make this? I started this at 7:45. And I ended... I think it was 11:15, and that included cutting the metal and everything, drilling, tapping, everything, welding, planning, fabricating. I did it all in a couple hours, and that's not that hard. There's good fabricators that can do that. I've met a few of them. I know a few of them. To be honest, I might actually do a competition, because when I was teaching, I hosted a few of them, and I might actually do a competition where I want a badass fabricator that sees my videos and sees this video. I want a challenge. I want one of y'all to challenge me. We're going to do a speed test, an efficiency and quality test. We're going to have someone pick a weldment. It can be simple. We're going to pre-cut our parts. We're going to do this live on the internet. And I can't do it at work, but so I have to wait till I get my shop set up. My area set up so I could weld like that. But I want to do it, and when I get my YouTube big enough, I'm gonna make a prize. It'll be a couple $100 probably, and I'll mail it out to you if you win. So, and if I win, I don't want your money. It's just for you. So I'll do it, and we'll see. We'll pick a random design, because I still know a lot of instructors. I could have them do it. I know one that would love to do it. He'd love to be the inspector of it too, because I still talk to all of them, and they won't know who welded what. We'll weld it, we won't mark it, we'll do a 1 or 2, and then that's when you have the judge look at it, and then they pick what they like, and they look at how long it took, and all the time, and all this, and then they come up with a winner. And then it's either number 1 or 2 won. It's not me or you. That way it's fair. And I'm fair. I'm a fair guy. I'm looking for a challenge. Like, I want a challenge, because none of y'all, I haven't seen, there's not very many fabricators I've seen that could hold a candle to me. Not really. And I wasn't the best welder either. I was one of the most efficient, though. I could work circles around 2 to 3 welders, and I don't know how I do it either. I don't know. It's like I've figured out every step so thoroughly that I don't even think about it. I can be daydreaming and listening to music, and my arms, it's like they move themselves, and then it just happens. So, almost like an autopilot. But, when I want to be fast, I can move quick. So I want to see someone else without getting hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. And you got to have at least 5 years experience. I wanted to say 10, But I'll give you 5 because 5. Otherwise, it's not going to be fair. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to keep up. Trust me, you're not. And at 5 years, that's when you're going to start. Okay, let's see what you got. 10 years, you should be there. Now, you may not be there on speed. You don't have to be there on speed, but that's what the competition is: speed. Because I'm fast and I'm good too. I can weld good if I want to. Yeah. Also, I'll make another video about that. I have another topic I want to talk about. But anyway, this has gone on too long. I ranting a little bit, telling you a little about me. So, yeah. And yeah, oops, I'll have to do that later. Peace.